So let's talk about inheritance for 1 second, for a few minutes. Um, Anytime you inherit something from one of your ancestors, there's a process that this must go through. It's called an inheritance process, and it depends on exactly how they left it to you, your ancestors. But usually, with any type of inheritance process, and this is what we're going to focus on here, there's always something called a time capsule on it. And there's always something called stipulations when it comes to the inheritance, certain requirements that you would have to meet before they would allow you to even start inheriting certain aspects of the contract, meaning that there are some contracts to where your grandparents and ancestors may have been millionaires and they may have left you $1 million, but you'll never get it unless you adjust your lifestyle. They won't allow you to get it if you're controlled anywhere, if you're working a job, or if you're controlled by substances and things of that nature, or if you aren't controlled by substances, but you don't have the money to really be able to afford certain substances and things of that nature, but then you're using them, then and things of that nature, they will control you like based upon your credit. They like you using X, Y, and Z, but then your credit as a whatever you are as an indigenous person doesn't match up. And you're not really supposed to be consuming this substance or whatever the case may be. So that's what substance. And then you just have different scenarios. Like they want you to meet certain requirements. Like you may be dating someone that's not of your caliber. They want to control how you date and how you interact with people and things of that nature. So like, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but these are some of the requirements of why people are poor. Because a lot of people got money waiting on them. Because this is what happened with me and how I'm eventually moving into my settlement, which I'm gonna get into, and then I'm gonna shut down. But because it comes with a process. But this is how a lot of people were left money and things of that nature by their grandparents, and then it moved on or whatever and moved to someone else or things of that nature because their lifestyle wasn't set up to facilitate the money that was left to them. Like your grandparents may have left you millions of dollars, and it wasn't your lifestyle. Like, I mean, come on, you poor living in the hood, and then you all of a sudden talking about you got $1 million. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get robbed in some way, so that you never receive it. So that's kind of what's going on with me. So like in my scenario, I'm what's called a targeted individual, and that's going to be the next video I come out with. And I'm going to start with that here, though. I'm called a targeted individual, meaning that there's other people that are connected to my literal vision. This is exactly what it means. So when I see something, there are other people that see it, and they did this because, again, when I was born, there were certain plants and tracking devices and things of that nature that was put into my parents, and they were able to track them so that when I was born, they were able to monitor me until I got a certain age. They decided to monitor me and and track me and mark me with what's called the mark of the beast in the Bible. It's about 666. So they decided to mark me or whatever. It's like, so I'm like a marked man. So like anything that I do, there's always some form of a hit attached to it, is what I'm essentially getting at. So I'm endowed money and things of that nature. However, I'm in an area where I wasn't really welcomed or showed welcome. Like it wasn't really welcoming in the very beginning, except for the person that brought me to this area. And that's what I'm kind of pointing out. And that's based upon the little rift that I got into, a few episodes back when I was talking about those guys in the gun scenario and things of that nature. That's kind of still going on because there are people that want to punish me for discussing that out loud, because it kind of put those guys, I guess, into a certain scenario that I'm not going to go into here. So there are people that want to punish me. So basically what I'm getting at is that pretty much the whole conscious community, they won't support me. Like I'll ask for donations and things of that nature and they won't support me. Like I'm trying to make products and things of that nature. They won't buy them unless they have to, meaning that it's they need to trade out some future bonds or whatever with my nation. Because I mean, I really essentially am a Moor. So it's like we have our own nation. Like we could do whatever we want to do, and they know that. That's why they hate me. So they want to make me into a slave, but it's really impossible because I have a flag and a nationality. So they wanted to. So basically, where we at now is this why it's called a settlement. So this is what I want to get into. Then I'll shut down. So with this settlement is I'm being endowed money, and what I mean by an endowment is this. I will not receive $1 if I'm in a scenario or if I'm with people that are conspiring against me, because that's kind of how it's been for the past few years. Meaning that right now I haven't received $1 in my account in days or weeks. I cannot get a donation and things of that nature for whatever reason. So if I'm not able to receive donations and raise money and get money, I'm not going to get endowed any money. That's basically the bottom line. I'm not going to be able to get endowed money, and I'm not going to be able to trade off that money to eventually hit $1 million cash mark, because that's what they want me to do. I have to get out this scenario that I'm in, as far as, because it's not just homelessness and poverty by choice. That's what you guys don't realize. It's because I'm a TI. They know how much money I got in my pocket. They know who I'm looking at, what I'm saying, who I'm talking to, things of that nature. I'm a TI. So that's why I'm poor, because everything is regulated when it comes to me. Everything I do, they Freemasons, the people in these groups regulate the shit. So that's why where I'm being endowed money, this group, it's a slow process, because they like, okay, where you at now? They want to start from there. So who's going to support you based upon this endowment? If we start giving you money, is everybody just going to wait till money gets deposited to your bank account and then go and trade off of it for free and have you sitting up here like a slave and losing money again? Because that's how I got into this scenario. When I was a baby, I was left a certain amount of money. It cost $1 million to have me. Not going to go into too much more. Back then, somebody was giving $1 million to bring me into this world. So I'm already essentially worth that coming in. And what they did was that they over time put the mark of the beast in me back when they first came out with it. This was a few years ago, and I'm not going to explain. I did certain rituals, you know what I'm saying, to deactivate parts of it, but there's still parts of it active. It's actually a security system that they have. The mark of the beast is, and it's installed on a various group of people, and that's how they monitor you. No matter where you at, they can see you. They don't need cameras in the place where you at. They watching you through the mark of the beast being implanted. And many people have been implanted with it and don't even know it, because they do it in your sleep. You see, that's how they get you. That's how they got me. So essentially, I won't get anything until it's proven that I'm out of this TI scenario, or if where I'm at, I'm not being targeted or being traded off of, and I'm not getting back when I'm good. They're not going to endow me shit. So eventually, what's going to end up happening is, because I'm in a scenario now where I'm here and it's kind of like I'm not being held hostage, but it's like we're not giving you any money. I'm using my resources and spending my resources, but I'm not receiving anything back from it. Not even $1, $20, nothing. It's all controlled money. It's like, oh, we'll donate this to you so that we don't owe you. That's the only money that I get, and that has to stop. This has to run like a real business, or I will not be endowed any money. So people get upset. They're like, you won't be doing readings, won't see nothing coming through this channel and all this. It's like this. At this point, nobody owes me anything. Let's get that straight. It's just a matter of, where am I going to lay down my root chakra so I can begin to get endowed money? Am I going to eventually find a place where I can at least exist, where if they not fucking with me, as a teacher, and they don't like what I'm doing, where they're at least not trading or extorting me, essentially is what they're doing now? Will I eventually find a place like that so that I can start getting endowed increments of money? Because they're not going to send me anything if I'm in a threat of getting robbed and jacked. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to ever happen. The economy is never going to be stimulated through 13 signs and the things that I do from any endowment until that's done. So that's kind of where we're at. So in the midst of that, we're kind of still in a battle, a verbal debate slash battle, with different people in these neighborhoods and communities that I've went to, because you have many of them that they just don't like what I do, So like, they like, you got to get safe. Essentially, once you get in a situation where you're safe, and you're not being held, or somebody owing you, you feel like somebody owe you, or they feel like you owe them, or because if they use me as a bond, a walking lick, this is why I need to point to you guys out, and I'm gonna shut down. I need to really make this clear in your head. You say, how are you being extorted? If you ain't really got much, they don't have to have any money. Anything that I do, they're literally generating money from it, profit from it. If I'm eating, sleeping, fucking, shitting, any physical thing that I do with my body, they're generating finance off of. They're financing it, essentially is what it is. So this is a high level form of slavery, done through when the mark of the beast first came out, through this company that I'll do videos on talking about more in the future. But I just want to kind of point this all out and make it real clear in your mind for people that's just into the saga or whatever. Like, I'm not going to get endowed jack diddly squat until I'm in a scenario where I'm healthy, where they not calling the cops on me every 20 seconds, and not, scared and chasing me around town talking about this video, I don't need to be doing that video and this and that. I need to be in a scenario where I have a home that's mine, which I'm pretty much in, but I'm still being even monitored in my own home right now with my significant other. Like, we got a home, so it's like we halfway there, but you got them jealous ones out there. Ever since I've been with my significant other, they haven't endowed hardly anything to me. There's a reason for that. They want to try to say that they're these people in these groups, man, you just don't know. Y'all following these teachers, they racist. They sending me emails mad to my girlfriend's of a different nationality. I'm not no more and this and that. And mad and shit. Teachers, bro. Big teachers. I'm not gonna say their names. People y'all listening to out there. Up here targeting me. Attacking me, your boy. That's barely getting views, but then you got these people with millions of views talking about I don't even mad about me and my significant other, calling me names, talking about they gonna turn the whole conscious community against me. That's what I'm going through. I get on Twitter, ain't nobody retweeting, tweeting shit from me. And it ain't because it's not interesting what I'm talking about. It's because I'm a TI. They don't give a fuck about what I'm talking about. They don't like me. In your society, I know too much to them. I'm a moving threat. I know how this government works in and out. I'm an economics master. And they know it. And that's what they're scared of me about. These black groups. And some Caucasians too. They're not out of it. And other even East Indian groups and all kind of groups are scared of me. They want to target your boy. They want to say, well, first it's your image. You need to clean up your. No, I'm ugly because I'm melanated to you. Let's keep it real. You hate melanin. I need to be fair skinned with a slender. No, you don't want anybody with so-called African Negroid features or Moorish features. See, that's the real thing, man. Like that's why I refuse to compromise for you guys. You don't want somebody with thick hair. You want somebody. You see what I'm saying? You're a racist, man. These people and these black people too. They don't want nobody in front of them. That's what I'm talking about. Not just these women wanting me like that because I can pull women. I mean, people know that. It's not even about that. And then I have a significant other, so what do I need to pull a woman for at this point? I'm not even focused on that, but I'm saying if I was, that was back in the day when I was in my 30s teaching. I mean, people know I had plenty of women when I was in my 30s teaching. I'm not on that anymore. But I'm just saying they want to stop all of that. They're jealous about any of that. They don't want anyone to be attracted to me, and not even just on a sexual level, just period. Period. They like, don't listen to his teaching. He look at him. He ain't going nowhere. He's a crackhead. I ain't smoked crack a day in my life. I ain't never smoked nothing but marijuana. Keeping it real, which I ain't never did none of that. That's what they want to, just put this stuff on me, man. So like, this is how it goes because I'm a TI. But why? You like, why? Why, sir? Well, sir, I have information in my head that can end governments ASAP. Like we're just talking about it. I could cost you billions of dollars from just speaking. That's why they have me set up as a TI, and I'll never exceed and get the type of credit and get millions of views per video. All of that. I'm not saying I never, because I got a plan to do that actually. But right now, until I'm cleaned up, until my ancestors are able to endow this money and gold actually as a part of it and things like that to me correctly, I probably will be in this scenario and then eventually I'm going to just have to get out of this scenario and work out a situation on my own so that I can go ahead and finish building this business so that I can help people out there. So like, yeah, that's the bottom line. They don't want your boy really absolutely just about doing anything, to be honest with you, straight regulated right now. So that's pretty much the scenario. Similar to, they want to make it into really like a prison. And the only thing that's really saving me from that is like how much money I've been cashing out with them. Like yesterday, I cashed out like some G's with them. I'm not gonna go into it, but like even just in the course of 2 days, like I'm over like $6,000, like just in 2 days that I've cashed out to these guys. So like that's what's stopping it. But then they keep throwing they taxing me like I've never been in a scenario like this. Believe me, this shit is deep. But I'm just looking at like this. I'm going to stand my ground and just keep making these videos, man, because that's what it's all about. And not really even too much focus on what they doing. It's just like whenever you decide to wake up and realize that you could benefit from sharing funds and finances through my PayPal account, which is 13signsastrology@gmail.com. You can donate anything to it. Once you decide that you want to just do that of your own free will and it's not based on some form of a control or tracking, this is pretty much the scenario I'll be in. I won't really be getting endowed any money. It's going to be hard to form a real life structured business like this because you got these clowns running around here looking at everything you're doing. That's just the bottom line. So it's really hard to do anything because people don't even want to be around you half the time. Excuse me. They don't even want to be around you half the time. Like I got people, they like, man, I don't even want to be around you because every time I'm around you, it's problems. I got people like, so I'm like literally like that. And that's how they want me because they're watching me because they're like, man, stay away from that guy. He's dangerous. He knows too much. So I don't expect for the future, just to be honest with you guys are still watching. I don't expect to get a lot of views, honestly. I don't expect to really raise a lot of money out of this scenario, but I just want to get rid of the, either while I'm here in this scenario, get rid of the fact that they keep watching me and blocking my money and they got a strike and a boycott on me essentially since I got here with my significant other. It's the worst it's ever been. I just want to essentially end that and be able to run a business at some point the way that I see fit through donations and be able to trade those donations and turn them into more money. That's pretty much what I do. Like you donate $40 and $50 to me, I'm trying to monetize it I'm trying to take it out the credit level now. I ain't even going on credit. We trying to send money directly to the credit card company so that people can get more credit issued to them. That's what I do, actually, believe it or not. You have to do, I'm not going to say how much it is or how to do it, but there's a certain process. But you can fund the credit card companies, Visa and all of them, and then that's how you recycle and get back the money. So this is how I won the endowment with no money. Remember, they was protesting against me. $0. I was able to win an endowment because when I monetize, it monetizes as money. That's why it's called monetization. And depending on the level that you monetize will depend on where it goes. I fund jobs, employment, all kind of stuff. That's why I don't really need to work, really, essentially, because I can fund anybody. I know how to finance anyone through this program that I started, and that's what they essentially are scared of your brother for.